Next on the news.
We expect migration levels to increase as smugglers seek to take advantage of and profit from vulnerable migrants.
Chaos brewing on the border, another setback for the Biden administration as the battle over Title 42 rages on. New information on the house fire in Brooklyn that killed two, why we may never know how it started. Plus,
I'm starting a trip here for a couple days, and then we're going to go on to the bordering countries to Ukraine.
Cardinal Timothy Dolan already in Rome and heading east, giving more details about his trip to meet refugees in Poland and Slovakia. And high-tech glasses that can help blind people to see again. I'm Michelle Powers. Currents News starts right now. The Department of Homeland Security Secretary grilled on Capitol Hill today about Title 42. That's the pandemic-related border expulsion rule. This as a judge dealt a setback for the Biden administration's plan to lift it. Whether migrants will continue being swiftly expelled at the southern U.S. border depends on whether the White House can lift Title 42. It allows the expulsions based on public health concerns from the COVID-19 pandemic. The Homeland Security Secretary testified today before House committees.
With the Title 42 public health order set to be lifted, we expect migration levels to increase as smugglers seek to take advantage of and profit from vulnerable migrants. We will continue to enforce our immigration laws.
A federal judge in Louisiana is temporarily restraining the White House from its plan to lift the measure May 23rd. A hearing on that is set for May 10th.
It is a health authority, and one the CDC, our health experts, of course, do have authority to make a decision about.
Meanwhile, Republicans are trying to use the power of Congress to keep Title 42 in place. They're leveraging a COVID-19 relief package to try to force a vote on it.
The border is already entirely too open. Pulling back the Title 42 authorities will only make it dramatically worse.
We're going to be working through this to see if we can come to a position that our caucus can agree on.
The House Hispanic Caucus says the focus should be on improving how the U.S. handles migrants.
Title 42 should be lifted and that we should focus on border management policy.
The White House says President Joe Biden is challenging lawmakers to come up with something better.
Title 42 was never a replacement for comprehensive immigration reform. That is something he would be eager to work with anyone on to get done.
Also in the nation's capital, big meetings between senators and 400 Catholic Hispanic leaders topping the agenda yet again. Immigration reform and demands. The group is urging the lawmakers to address the root causes of migration. They're also advocating for a pathway to citizenship for those with temporary protective status or those in the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, DACA. There's about 35 dioceses from across the United States taking part. That effort coincides with the 6th National Congress of Hispanic Ministry in D.C. The 4-day gathering will focus on some of the pillars of the Hispanic community: family, youth ministry, social justice, and pastoral formation. Leaders from all over the country are basically picking up the ball after the pandemic, drawing on the conclusions of the 5th Encuentro back in 2018. If you remember, that was a huge gathering where church leaders and lay people discussed ways to strengthen the Hispanic community. The Diocese of Brooklyn played a huge role in the nationwide effort. Pope Francis is keeping a close eye on those meetings all the way from the Vatican. He hopes they can help promote peace in a chaotic world. Justin McClellan has the Holy Father's special message.
Pope Francis sent a video message to the participants of this year's Raíces y Alas conference in Washington, D.C., the 6th National Catholic Congress on Hispanic Ministry in the United States.
Los invito a reflexionar sobre la necesidad de ser cristianos que transformen las estructuras y puedan crear puentes en todos los sectores de la sociedad.
The Pope observed that in this time of war and pandemic, humanity needs to change its mentality away from schemes of war to focus on projects of peace.
Yo necesito de paz. Vos necesitas de paz. El mundo necesita de paz. Respirar paz es saludable. Necesitamos signos concretos de paz. Los cristianos tienen que dar el ejemplo.
That was Justin McClellan reporting. The Congress will wrap up this Saturday. New details are emerging about last Sunday's deadly fire in Canarsie. How did it start? That's what we are waiting to find out, and it looks like we may never know. Neighbors in the Brooklyn neighborhood are now saying they could hear the dying gasps of a man with autism while the fire was raging. The 21-year-old who lived with his mother was alone in his room, struggling to breathe and so frightened he didn't know what to do. City fire inspectors have still not determined what caused the fire that killed the young man and firefighter Timothy Klein. According to a source from the FDNY, the delay may be because everything was destroyed after the home's second floor collapsed and when firefighters scrambled to save Klein from the rubble. Timothy Klein's wake will be tomorrow, Thursday, April 28th at McManus Funeral Home. That's at 4601 Avenue N in Brooklyn. Those times are from 2 to 4 and 7 to 9. His funeral will be Friday, April 29th at St. Francis de Sales in Bell Harbor. That's where young Klein went to school and church, and it's now where he will come full circle. That church is located at 129-16 Rockaway Beach Boulevard. The service will begin at 11 a.m. We will have live coverage of the Mass. Just find us on Facebook, and you can watch the city's final salute right there. A Bronx church has raised more than $2,000 in an effort to rise from the ashes of another disastrous fire. You may remember St. Helena's Church, whose sacristy was significantly damaged after an electrical fire last December. No one was hurt by the flames, but the church was forced to temporarily move its masses to another site where they rebuilt. At the time, their pastor, Father David Powers, said the change was a chance to make the building and the parish's foundation of faith much stronger.
Something like this motivates you to say, how can we make things better? And to spend a more intense relationship with the Lord.
St. Helena's was able to reopen their church on Ash Wednesday. Insurance has covered most of the damages, and the recent $2,000 from a benefit concert is helping with some of those lingering repairs. You can read more about the concert and St. Helena's story in this week's tablet and also in this week's paper, a monastery who celebrates Earth Day every day. Meet the Passionist priests who recently reopened their renovated retreat home with the commitment to go green. Just some of the things you'll find there are solar panels, an organic garden, and what's called a green wall. That's a vertical structure filled with plants that acts as a natural air filter. You can pick up a copy at your local church, but for those of you looking to subscribe, you can help out students and schools through the paper's Great COVID Relief Fundraiser. Students who sell the most subscriptions get money back for not only themselves, but also for their schools. And that's not all. Every new reader you earn for the Brooklyn paper will get you that much closer to this year's grand prize of $3,000. But you better hurry up. Students only have until this Friday, April 29th, to sell subscriptions. Monsignor David Casado has some more details for us.
Go out with a tablet in your hand. Get your parents to make a video of it and send it out to everybody you know on your iPad, your cell phone. Get it out. Let's get people excited. We got to get these subscriptions sold ASAP. Do it. You can do it. I can do it. We'll all do it together. God bless you.
All right, you heard Monsignor David Casado. You can do it. If you don't know a student selling subscriptions, don't worry, you can still participate. Just go to thetablet.org/COVID Relief Fundraiser. There you can select the parish school of your choice. You can also extend your subscription if you're already a big fan of the tablet. Again, the fundraiser ends on April 29th. That's this upcoming Friday. Also tonight, 2 years later, and scientists are still discovering new things about the coronavirus. Now a new study says a possible side effect of COVID is PTSD. Medical researchers with the University of Colorado say more than 60% of family members who have had to visit loved ones in the emergency room due to COVID show signs of post-traumatic stress disorder. But one school in the Diocese of Brooklyn is tackling the stresses of the pandemic in a holistic way. And as Jessica Easthope reports from Astoria, it's not just students that can get help.
Sticking to the table.
Right, and then you do your exercise on the yoga mats.
For these third graders at Immaculate Conception Catholic Academy in Astoria, it's their first time seeing and touching a yoga mat.
Feels like foam.
Here in their brand new wellness center, they're going to learn how that yoga mat can keep them healthy.
Why is exercise healthy?
But the $30,000 facility paid for by the Diocese of Brooklyn and donations will be for more than just yoga. The school is rolling out programs on faith formation, healthy cooking, nutrition, and even had one on dental hygiene.
She was talking about to brush your teeth like for 2 minutes.
What did you get?
Over the last nearly 2 years, studies have shown kids are feeling the effects of the pandemic. Hospitals have seen more mental health emergencies among kids. The American Academy of Pediatrics found emergency room visits for children in a mental health crisis rose by 24% for kids ages 5 to 11 and 31% for kids ages 12 to 17.
A lot of kids are under a lot of stress. And if we could offer them activities which can relieve that stress.
The best part, it's not just for students. Teachers and even parents can participate in wellness programs too.
If we want our children to be well educated, well informed, we need the parents to be part of that.
Thank you.
Their feet can't reach the floor, but Brother Joseph Rocco says knowing how to be healthy is the first step to reaching their full potential.
It's cool because I like how we get to learn new stuff to keep you healthy and make your parents happy.
Yes, do the pose.
The center was created to be a place where kids can find their center and stay well, mind, body, and spirit. In Astoria, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
And it was a return to normalcy for one New York charity. Let's just say there's a lot of happy mothers in the city as Bridge to Life just wrapped up their 11th annual baby shower. This is the first time since the pandemic started that the organization was able to hold their annual event, collecting clothes, diapers, and supplies for single mothers and mothers in need. All the donations were then transported to their brand new service center that opens this weekend in College Point. There's still a lot more news headed your way. He's already in Rome. Now, Cardinal Timothy Dolan is giving more details about his visit to Ukrainian refugees in Poland and Slovakia. Plus this.
I'm going to be able to hug my kid, put my arms around him. I had a little bit.
His parents are overjoyed. Russia releasing a former U.S. Marine in a prisoner exchange. And they're only in the 3rd grade, but they're already getting a full ride for college. How a generous donation is making it all happen. Cardinal Timothy Dolan is on his way to meet Ukrainian refugees. His Eminence traveled to Rome on Monday for the first leg of his journey to Poland and Slovakia.
Hi, everybody. Cardinal Timothy Dolan here. As you can see, I'm not coming to you from New York now. We're in the eternal city of Rome because you can see St. Peter's Basilica there in the background. I'm actually coming to you today on Monday, April 25th, the Feast of St. Mark the Evangelist from Rome, because I'm starting a trip here for a couple days, and then we're going to go on to the bordering countries to Ukraine to visit the suffering refugees who have had to flee the aggression in Ukraine. So I'm glad you tuned in. Thanks.
Cardinal Dolan's trip is meant to show his solidarity with refugees as well as highlight the church's numerous initiatives that it's taken to help the people of Ukraine. We are also getting word of where Cardinal Dolan is officially going. It's a jam-packed trip, but here are some of the highlights. Cardinal Dolan will arrive in Krakow on Friday, and that's the same day he will visit a parish working side by side to help displaced Ukrainians. On Saturday, he will visit a tent chapel and makeshift child care facility at a Polish railroad station. On Sunday, besides having Mass with the Greek Catholic Curia, Cardinal Dolan will visit a supply facility where necessities such as food and medicine are being distributed. On Monday, Cardinal Dolan will visit a Poland-Ukrainian border crossing, and on Tuesday, his last day in Poland, His Eminence will see those at Caritas Poland who have been helping the refugees since the invasion first began. Be sure to stay with Currents News and the Tablet newspaper for full coverage. Amid the ongoing conflict, a former U.S. Marine has been released from Russia after a nearly 3-year ordeal. American Trevor Reed was exchanged for a Russian citizen in a prisoner swap. As Isabella Rosales reports, this comes as Russia shuts off its gas supply to neighboring countries.
American Trevor Reed, a free man once more. U.S. and Russia agreeing to a prisoner swap.
It's been almost 1,000 days, so I'm just excited to see him.
Reed's parents calling his release an answer to their prayers.
Finally, after waiting all this time, I'm going to be able to hug my kid, you know, and put my arms around him.
The Texan had been detained for nearly 3 years on charges of fighting with Russian police.
He looks terrible to us. I mean, as his parents, we know he does not look well. He's very thin.
He was walking strange, and it looked like they had to help him get up in the airplane.
As part of the deal, the U.S. releasing a Russian pilot sentenced for drug trafficking. But no answers yet for 2 other Americans still under Russian detention. Basketball star Brittany Griner and former Marine Paul Whelan.
Our work is not yet finished. Of course, we're going to continue at it.
In a devastating move, Moscow cut off NATO countries Poland and Bulgaria from its gas supply after they refused to pay in Russian rubles. It's a move the EU is calling blackmail. Russia reporting blasts on their territory, 3 regions bordering Ukraine. This Russian ammo depot up in flames. And this drone video from March shows Russian military vehicles and forces near civilian bodies in Bucha. New video evidence contradicting Russia's repeated denials of responsibility for the mass killings. In Washington, Isabel Rosales, Currents News.
More than 20,000 Ukrainians have been processed at the U.S.-Mexico border since March. And that's according to the Department of Homeland Security. DHS officials say they were also granted humanitarian parole on a case-by-case basis. And this is even before the plan to lift Title 42 next month. Remember, that's a Trump-era public health rule that would make it easier to quickly expel migrants. Now to some news out of New York City. The full MTA board meeting today on how to battle crime in the subways. Part of the plan is to crack down on fare evaders. The agency's chairman says people dodging fares has risen from 3% to more than 12%. Despite an increase in arrests, new data shows that assaults, stabbings, and shootings in the subways are still on the rise. Mayor Eric Adams has another proposal that he claims will help fight crime in the subway, and that's getting transit police officers off their phones.
We are going to start taking very aggressive actions to make sure police are patrolling our subway system and not patrolling their iPhone.
The mayor made the comments at a budget briefing from City Hall. He asked New Yorkers to send him pictures of the officers in the subway using their phones. Adams says he will then go to the precinct where the picture was taken and address the issue himself.
They are offering a full ride college scholarship.
Also tonight, how about that? An incredible surprise for a 3rd grade class in Arizona as they learn their college education will be paid for in full by a charitable foundation. The parents could be seen holding back their tears of joy at the generous surprise, which will provide a full ride to 63 elementary school students in total. Adriana Loyola was there when they received the big news, and she has more on their heartfelt reactions.
Bernard Black Elementary School inviting 3rd graders and their parents Monday for what they thought was another assembly.
I just thought it was maybe another award because he's a good kid. He gets a lot of awards and stuff.
I thought they were going to get like a little award or something, like it was a little banquet.
But they were all in for a major surprise.
For every Bernard Black 3rd grader that is right here with us, they are offering a full ride college scholarship.
63 students getting their college tuition, books, and room and board paid for by the Rostozzi Foundation and their program, College Promise.
But the goal, through the generous offer of this family, is that finances will not be the barrier, that college is an option for every 3rd grader right here at Bernard Black.
That message resonating with parents.
You guys get to go to college for free. That is amazing.
Among claps and cheers, tears of joy for many of them.
I just couldn't hold it back because it just means like for sure my son's going to college. I don't have to think about it. He's going.
This, a life-changing opportunity for Brandon Gillard's son, Noah.
We didn't go to college because we couldn't afford it.
I'm a single parent. College is far away, but it's not easy.
Tenisas Miller's daughter's dream of becoming a veterinarian a step closer.
We're going to college! Yeah!
Even Aaliyah Warner's brother, happy for her.
My little sister, a 9-year-old, already has 4 years of college paid off. That's just shocking.
This, the second time the Rostozzi Foundation guaranteed a college future for students in the Valley. About 80 third graders in Avondale's Michael Anderson School getting the same promise in 2012.
Es una ayuda muy grande porque eso ya le garantiza a él que puede tener un futuro mejor.
And we told him that it could be free possibly if you just do great in school. They just told him, yo, it's free. You're gonna go for sure.
While they still have a ways to graduating high school,
we're just super happy.
The future is already bright and promising.
What a life-changing surprise. That was Adriana Loya reporting. Still to come on Currents News, they're reaching for the stars. The new crew members on the way to the International Space Station and how one of them is making history. And this one sounds like a miracle, the high-tech glasses that are helping blind people to see again.
2, 1, 0. Ignition.
Another successful blast-off at Cape Canaveral. The astronauts inside this SpaceX rocket are bound for the International Space Station. It's going to take the crew of 4 about 16 hours till they touch down. Then they'll get right to work, beginning a 6-month mission for NASA. One of the astronauts, Jessica Watkins, is now the first black woman to go to an extended space mission. Now to another high-tech endeavor, one the world thought it may never see. What if there were glasses strong enough for the blind? Well, one company is taking that look into the future. They're made by a Dutch company, and they are refurbishing Google glasses with artificial intelligence. David Louie shows us how.
Go ahead and just pull them over your ear like normal glasses.
Neeraj Gupta is hoping these special glasses are going to be a life changer. After starting to lose vision in his 20s from a progressive disorder, he had to stop driving and working in finance.
If there's some technology out there, if there's some way that can help me in my daily life, I will do what it takes to regain my independence, to still live a normal life.
A Dutch firm, Envision, has taken the newest iteration of Google Glasses and added artificial intelligence.
It says double tap to scan the text. So
go ahead and try.
Sounds like it took a picture, yeah.
They can capture and then read aloud text, labels, or signs in front of the user in a matter of seconds.
English.
Oil painting by Dutch Golden Age painter Johannes Vermeer.
Envision founder Karthik Kannan says this opens a new world for the blind and visually impaired.
Envision reads over 60 different languages, including right-to-left languages like Hebrew, Arabic, and so on. It reads handwritten languages, handwritten scripts as well.
Envision glasses can create a database of objects and faces, so when a user walks into a room, the glasses will describe who or what is there. And when a user needs help, the glasses will call an ally, displaying what the user's glasses are seeing. Then they can have a hands-free call to help the user navigate a complex setting.
We've got 2 big conference rooms in front of you to the left.
To my left. Okay, great. I'm always trying to figure out, am I at the right train station? Is it the right direction I'm going? And when I get on the train, is there someone sitting in front of me?
About 1,000 people are using Envision glasses. Their $3,500 cost is sometimes covered by insurance. New features are being added, such as the ability to detect between a $1 and $20 bill.
Absolutely amazing. And that is Currents News. I'm Michelle Powers. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.